Tell me what you think about this. Sit on this for a minute. Let me talk to you.
Pause.
Friday, I've got Friday as my number one. I've got Saturday too.
Best day. Friday's number one?
Yeah, I've got Friday as
From
my
the
one.
college football guy. That's wild.
So,
Yeah.
but here's the thing, though.
Okay, don't get married on Fridays, anybody. It's Macrodosing. We're back, and today's show is brought to you in part by Pardon My Cheesesteak. I love Pardon My Cheesesteak. I had Pardon My Cheesesteak the other day. Sometimes I like to secret shop it, order a cheesesteak. Nothing better than watching sports and eating cheesesteaks. I love doing both. I love doing both together. Pardon My Cheesesteak is delicious. A lot of you guys have had it already. If you haven't tried it, we've got some great new exciting menu items just in time for football season. We've got all the favorites. We've got the standard cheesesteak. We've got the regular one made with fresh, thinly sliced steak, melted provolone, cheese sauce, and caramelized onions. That's what I like about it. It's got the cheese sauce and the melted provolone on there. We also have the Chipotle cheesesteaks, chicken cheesesteaks, Chipotle chicken cheesesteaks, buffalo chicken cheesesteak, and chicken bacon ranch cheesesteaks. I love the buffalo chicken cheesesteak. Love the classic. The Chipotle is good. It's got a little bit of spice to it. You can get the Big Cat combo. It's a cheesesteak of choice, fries, and a drink. For dessert, try the new donut dippers. Delicious donut holes tossed in cinnamon sugar and served with a rich caramel sauce. We've got a deal for you, too. We're going to give you $10 off an order of $30 or more. Find a Pardon My Cheesesteak near you. Order yours at pardonmycheesesteak.com. Use code MACRO10, MACRO10. MACRO10. Get $10 off your order of $30 or more. Check out the new menu items that we've got. Awesome cheesesteaks, loaded fries, delivered right to your doorstep. Welcome back to Macrodosing. It is Tuesday. It's August 27th. Week 0 is over. We had the appetizer last week. Now it's time to feast. College football's back. Don't miss any of the action. Jump in at DraftKings Sportsbook. It's a full slate of games for Week 1. You got the big matchup in Atlanta between the preseason number 1 and the number 16. It's super easy for first-timers to get started. Try betting on something simple like picking a team to win. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, select your team, place your first bet. It's going to be DraftKings' biggest college football season to date. Enjoy the ride now all the way through the expanded playoffs. And for all the newbies out there getting into the college spirit, here's something extra special. New DraftKings customers bet $5 and you get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Score big with DraftKings all college football long. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code MACRO. Use code MACRO for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. So you bet $5, you get $200 in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings, the crown is yours. Just as a little teaser, if anybody wants to ride with me, I've put in 2 futures in college football for national champions. The Texas Longhorns.
What were they?
I believe they were 7 plus 700, 7-1 or 650, one of the two.
Okay.
And then the other one is the Oregon Ducks, and they're about the same. I think they're a little bit better than the Longhorns. So
See, like, I like that. It's just like plus 600 for a 4-month,
it's an investment.
Yeah.
You just
No,
gotta-
I
you gotta
mean,
wait
if
for
Oregon
it.
wins the national title, find me a mutual fund that pays you 6-1.
Can't do it. Well, then the danger is if I get down the line, then I've got 2 futures, and they both pay like relatively the same. So I would kind of cut my futures in half. Maybe not the grandest betting strategy, but I don't know.
I like Oregon. I think Oregon's a very good team.
I like the Ducks this year. I like the Ducks a lot. They got a good quarterback. They're going to reload, and I feel like the schedule is. It's not easy, but it's not the hardest for them. It could be worse.
Get Ohio State at home.
Yep. And
I
then
don't think they play.
if they lose that game to Ohio State, then they can still be in the playoff.
Lose twice.
Lose twice. Get on in there. It's going to be an interesting college football season. Did you guys watch college football Week 0?
Of course.
Aaron, did you watch any?
I did not watch any, man.
Yep.
My homeboy, he's on the staff for Georgia Tech, though, so the group chat was lit when I found out they won.
Yeah. It was a big win over in Ireland.
One of my I rarely place futures, but Georgia Tech over 5 wins was one of my big futures this year.
I like
It was
that.
a nice start.
Yeah, great start to it. They had that one marked as a loss.
Yeah,
If you're drawing it
they
out.
just needed to win like one of that Louisville, Notre Dame, and they got it. So.
Yeah. Off to a good start. All right, so it's been a great weekend, I think. I had a great weekend, at least. I got to watch college football, which I was happy about, even though the games, they didn't have that much pizzazz to them in terms of like the name brands, but they were good games. They were interesting games.
That's the only one I watched. You couldn't get me into SMU Nevada or.
Oh, SMU Nevada was
I saw it was
crazy game.
Yeah,
it was insane. And then the New Mexico and Montana State game, that was wild too because the wind was blowing like 60 miles an hour. Cameras were falling over. Tents were falling over. The ball was rolling down the field when they would try to put it on the ground for the center. It was wild. Pure college football. Arian, in New Mexico, do you guys get like big windstorms all the time?
Yeah. There was these what they call the Sandia Mountains. And they're beautiful. Some of the best sunsets I've ever been around too, by the way. They call them Sandia because kind of like this color behind me. It's Spanish for watermelon, I think.
Yeah.
And it has these beautiful like pink backdrop sunsets against that mountain. But anyway, that mountain's huge and it's like a little cove almost Albuquerque is. And so like wind gets like really gusts. You get a lot of gusts of wind out there. It got bad.
Yeah, it looked crazy. It looked like they were playing the game in a tornado, which is
don't miss that shit.
You love to see just weird shit happen in college football. If you can't have a good game, at least give me some weird shit. Besides that, pretty low key weekend on this end. I've got a major announcement to make. I'm getting in shape.
Like it started or you're starting?
Well, it started. I'm like 3 days in shape.
It's
my journey.
That's a big step, man. That's a big step.
But you know what sucks about getting in shape?
Everything.
Healthy food sucks. Healthy food stinks. And I'm going to have nutritionists and dietitians be like, no, PFT, you can actually make a great sandwich out of scrambled tofu and celery, and then you get to
Tofu's not healthy.
You get to eat one piece of bread, and it tastes like a bird's nest, and you're going to love it. Healthy food stinks. It stinks. I've been eating healthy food for the last 3 days. I meal prepped this week. I got my lunches ready to go. I'm going to eat healthy at breakfast, healthy at dinner. And I can deal with that. I think we talked about this last week, Arian, but I can flip my brain into the mode where it's like, okay, this is medicine. I'm essentially taking something that I have to eat, get over it. So I'll be doing that, but I'm not going to be happy about it. And people that pretend to be happy about eating healthy food, just know you guys are a bunch of fucking liars. Because all I want is a hamburger. I want a cheeseburger. I want buffalo wings. I want to drink 6 domestic light beers. I want to have dessert. I want to have pre-dessert. I want to have soup. I want to eat it all. I want to have good tasting food. And you can't do that if you're eating healthy. It's impossible to do it. But that's fine. I'm just not going to be one of those guys that lies to you and says, oh, this is actually really good. You can eat healthy and enjoy your food. No, you can't. You can eat healthy. You can hate your food, but you can like what the food's doing for your body. So that's what I'm putting myself in a very realistic camp, I think. But I'm not happy.
I'll make a prediction. I understand what you're saying, but if you eat like that for like, let's say you continue to have this discipline for 2 weeks, I think that your taste buds start to evolve, and you start to develop a taste for the healthy foods. So much so as if you go back and say, I have a cheat meal, you might think it tastes good, but you can taste also how bad it is.
How bad it is for me?
We're like the processed meat. You could taste that, like like all the fats and you could taste that after a while. Like if you eat really good for like 2-3 weeks, you could taste it, and it's not as appetizing. And not only that, you feel like shit afterwards. It's like having sex with somebody you don't really like.
Mm-hmm.
In the moment, it's amazing, but then as soon as you're done, you're like, oh man, I'm going to get up out of here.
So right now my food life is I'm just banging a bunch of hoes. and I think I like it, but then once it stops burning when I piss, then I'll be like, that actually wasn't great.
That actually wasn't good for me.
Now I'm in a committed relationship with somebody I love, and it is good for me.
The New Orleans poet, Lil Wayne, he said, as soon as I come to my senses.
Post-nut clarity.
Some of the realest shit ever wrote.
I'm having tree nut clarity right now because I'm eating a lot of almonds. And it's not the same. It's not the same. I defy you. Tell me one thing that's actually good for you. Like, I mean, good for you to eat that tastes really good. Name one.
Potatoes.
Boiled potatoes.
I mean, hold on.
Potatoes aren't that
Are
good
you
for
allowed
you.
Are you allowed to season it? Because I know that's not up y'all's sleeve usually.
No, you don't know how I cook, Arian. I use seasoning, but
Okay.
I'm not supposed to eat a lot of salt. So what is a man to do?
Well, that's because you have high salt intake in other foods, and so you probably have to cut back initially. But if you all that shit is reversible.
French fries or
Like,
potatoes? I enjoy French fries.
no, those not see. Then you start to fry it, and they're not good for you no more.
Okay, waffle fries.
Avocados.
Avocados are as close as you can get, I think.
Fruit?
Yeah, like massive amounts of fruits.
But I'm supposed
bananas. You don't fuck with
I'm
bananas?
supposed. No, I like bananas, but I'm supposed to be limiting sugar.
But that's good sugar.
There's different kinds of sugar. Like yeah, you shouldn't drink a cup of or just take a cup of sugar or Kool-Aid. You know, that type of sugar is bad for you. Processed stuff. But like natural carbs, natural sugars are good for you.
Okay.
You can overdo it. Like, but if you have some fruits, you sprinkle it in your diet, you'll be all right, man.
I'll give you fruits. Fruits are pretty good. But besides that, it all sucks. There's actually an NFL player. He's on the Commanders now. Former Steeler, former Raider. He was on the Cowboys practice squad last year. Martavis Bryant. Martavis Bryant caught a touchdown in the preseason yesterday, and it was cool to see because Martavis has been out of the league. He got suspended. I think it was his second or third year with the Steelers. Got suspended for 5 games. Got traded to the Raiders. Got suspended for an entire year when he was on the Raiders and has essentially been out of the league since then. He got suspended for weed. So this is a very 2015, 2016 issue that Martavis was dealing with back when the NFL still had drug testing. And the NFL held on to marijuana testing years and years too long. And they did it for one reason only, because they knew that if they wanted to allow the players to be able to smoke weed, they needed something in exchange for them in the next contract negotiation. So it was a big bargaining chip. They didn't have weed be against the banned substances law for any reason besides the fact that they knew that they could get something in return for it if they gave it up. So Martavis Bryant essentially got his career thrown out because he smoked weed. And now he's back in the league, and he caught a touchdown pass in traffic yesterday for the Commanders. He's 6'4". I think he weighs 208 pounds. But 2 weeks ago, when he initially met with the Commanders, he weighed 230 pounds. And they said, "You're a little heavy. Can you lose some of the weight?" You know what he did? He only drank water and ate fruit for a week and a half, which is crazy. I mean, that's a guy that obviously wants to make it work, make his comeback work. So he had the discipline to only eat fruit and drink water. Maybe that's the key for me. Maybe I just get on the Martavis Bryant diet, which is just water, fruit, and weed.
I don't understand how you smoke weed and then only eat fruit.
What do you mean?
Isn't the whole,
I don't know if he still smokes weed, for the record. He got popped for it a couple times.
I mean, TJ Hitchings had a moment there where he was only eating electrolyte packets and chicken and veggies.
Yeah. And it's not fun.
No.
But you gotta shock the system. Okay, I'll give you fruit. Fruit is a good one. But that's as far as that one goes.
You don't like no vegetables? Like asparagus? You don't fuck with asparagus?
I do, but you gotta season it.
Are you talking about just meat's not good if you don't season it.
That's also true. That's also I'm in my feelings right now because I've had healthy food for 3 days, so I'm upset.
What do you consider healthy? Give me a rundown of your dietary plan.
Okay,
thus far.
Here's what I had for breakfast today: steel cut oatmeal, a little bit of olive oil, tiny little bit of salt, and a little bit of whey protein in there. Lunch, I had tuna fish mixed with Greek yogurt, cucumbers, radish, jalapenos, and lemon juice. And then for dinner, I'm probably going to have salmon and green beans.
It was not bad.
I think that's a pretty good day.
Yeah, it's not bad, man. It's not bad. What's your favorite vegetables?
Favorite vegetables? They're all fruits. Avocados, tomatoes. Now that I think about it, they're all fruits. Fuck. Cucumbers are good. That's a fruit too. Shit.
Cucumbers are fruit?
Yeah, I like asparagus, I guess. Broccoli, kind
Yeah,
of.
man. I think you just load up on shit that you like. Because like the good thing about vegetables and fruits, well, more so vegetables, not so much fruits, but vegetables, you can literally eat all the vegetables you want
Yeah,
and be good, bro.
yeah. I
think you should-
flipped
I
my
think you should do
mindset.
Yeah.
I just flipped it.
I have a a funny story. Well, it maybe not be funny at all, but I thought it was dope. So this dude DMs me on Twitter and he goes, Arian, I have been a Macrodosing since way before Macrodosing was a thing. I'm listening to it right now. Yada, yada, yada. He said, we've been doing it. We have a fantasy football league. We've been doing it for over 10 years. And he said, it would be an absolute honor if you could pick our fantasy football draft order. What do you say? And I was like, that'd be kind of cool. So I said, so he gave me a list of all 12 of their names. And he wanted me to rank them in order of whose name I thought was the best versus the worst.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you the order, and I think y'all should pick them too. All right, here goes the order.
Wait, can you give us the names in a random order, in the order he gave them to you first, and we'll take like 2 minutes and craft our own order, and we'll see how it matches up to yours.
I like it. Okay, I like it. All right, here goes, and I'll send it to the group so you guys.
Yeah, send me a screenshot of it.
All right. So the order is. Hold on, let me send it first because I'm not a very good multitasker. Okay, the first one is Luke Anderko.
Oh, we're doing last names too.
This is random order. Yeah, this is random order. Luke Anderko.
We're just doxing these people.
Jake Rossman. Nah, I just said doxing. Or is it?
Whatever.
Yeah, fuck it.
Jake Rossman.
Fuck it. Wait, their boss is going to find out they're in a fantasy football league.
Zach Diamond.
That's going to be tough to beat.
That's a good name. Mm-hmm.
Cody Hose.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if that's how I pronounce it. Braxton Skinner. Jake Diamond. Bobby Pollitt. Andrew Wheeler. Joey Pollitt. Eric Klosick. Mark Sullivan. Pat Howard.
Okay.
All right, give me 3 to 5 minutes.
I got you.
Take 3 minutes, everybody. All right, we got our list of names. And Arian, yeah, people will be hitting you up to do this in the future because you did it one time. Once again, direct all fantasy football draft order questions to @Arian Foster. That's @Arian Foster and @Arian Foster only.
Yep.
On Twitter.
Instagram, it is Bobby Fino if you wanted that as well.
Yes, good point, Mad Dog. But that's only for him.
Nobody will ignore you like I will.
If I'm included in these tweets or DMs, you're ineligible. But Arian Foster is the draft order king.
All right, I think we should all say our number one on 3, because if we don't all have the same number one, I'm going to be shocked.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Cody Hose.
Jake Diamond.
Zach Diamond.
Wow.
Damn.
Are you like Jake Diamond better than Zach Diamond?
Yeah, Zach. Zach always rubbed me the wrong way ever since I've watched Saved by the Bell back in the day. I hate that name.
I had Zach above Jake as well.
I like Zach. I'm kind of rewarding him because he dealt with a lot of shit in life. He was always last in the alphabet in elementary school. He was always picked last. This is I'm doing DEI for Z names.
Zach. Jake always felt like when I think of Jake, I think of, you remember Jake the Snake?
Yeah.
The wrestler. I've always got good vibes from Jake. You know what I mean?
Can y'all explain to me how
has there ever been a bad Jake?
Yes.
Jake Paul?
Yeah.
Tried to kill his dog. You'd actually love him.
Oh my God, that was Logan, I thought.
That was Logan.
Oh, is Logan Paul?
Yeah.
Oh, whoops.
Hometown heroes.
Yeah, Jake Paul's the good one, right?
None of them are really.
Yeah, I don't know that either of them are good.
I don't know enough about him.
Jake
way,
is the
but
boxer.
I know Logan's.
Jake's now a boxer.
Yeah, his brother's the one doing a lot of crypto scam and shit. His brother, he's probably a little clickbaity.
They're both a little scammy whammy.
All right, in the world for the Pauls, the Jake is the better one. That's my point.
Probably.
Logan engaged to Nina Agdal.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know her. Yep.
Can someone explain to me how Cody Hose is not number one?
Cody Hose is not number one.
Cody Hose is not number one.
Cody Hose is not number one.
Can someone explain to me how Cody Hose is not number one?
I wasn't sure how to pronounce it. He was my number 4.
I think it's Cody Hose. We'll say for the sake of argument.
I mean, yeah, I'm going with Cody. If it's not, then
Okay,
he's
well, I
12th.
had Cody Hose ranked 2.
Okay.
And so if you had him ranked 1, and Arian, you had him ranked what?
4.
4?
That's the aggregate one then.
Mad Dog McKinsey, did you guys do rankings?
No, but I have my number 1 off the bat. I have my top 3 off the bat.
Okay, give me your top 3.
Okay, my number 1 is Zach Diamond.
Okay.
My number 2 is Cody Hose.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3, I'm going, I'm doing like 3A, 3B of Jake Diamond and then Braxton Skinner.
This is a fantasy lacrosse league.
Had Braxton in mine too. It's a strong name.
Braxton Skinner,
See,
I can imagine him.
I had him dead last. I had
Really?
Braxton
Last
Skinner
item.
dead last.
That's a good sounding
That's a-
name, Braxton Skinner.
I think
It's
that's the whitest
it's the
dude
most,
made
no
of all.
offense if you listen to Braxton, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
it's
like
a two
super
Americas
Poindexter.
moment.
I had him.
Oh, it's the whitest name of all
Yeah.
time, but it sounds
That's what I'm
sounds
saying. I
cool.
was
He
like,
sounds
let
like
me
a
go ahead and put it
skater.
at the bottom.
Braxton
What about-
Skinner.
What about Braxton Miller?
Okay, Braxton Skinner.
the Skinner that makes
going
it the
tell on
white.
me. Like if we was growing up, he was the one telling his parents on people and shit. That's what. That's what it
No,
feels
no,
like.
Braxton's getting into trouble.
Yeah.
Braxton's mischievous.
Braxton
a cool
Skinner.
kid.
Also,
Yeah.
Braxton's getting.
also in my
Yeah.
head, Braxton Skinner has frosted tips.
Yeah, Braxton. I dinged him for the X.
That's fair.
I like the X.
You like it? So it sounds to me like Cody Hose has the highest consensus ranking.
Yeah.
Cody
it's-
Hose, good name.
But Arian's rankings are the official ones for the draft, right?
Right.
Yep.
Yes.
So
I already sent him in. He said thank you.
all right. So who you got drafting first, Arian?
All right, so I'll just run it down. First is Jake Diamond. Love that name. Second was Mark Sullivan.
Really?
And this was purely off of Monsters Inc.
Okay.
Okay, fair.
And I hope his friends call him Sully. You know, that would be amazing.
I had him 10th.
Yeah, that's
He's 7 for me.
Makes sense. No swag. Yeah, I got you. Number 3
Great
is
alias.
Bobby
Sorry, I was just gonna say great alias out there though. If anybody needs a fake name at the last minute, just pull it out of their ass. Mark Sullivan.
There were several of those in here. A lot of meat and potatoes names.
Yeah, Mark Sullivan. Officer,
Run
my
the football.
My name is Mark Sullivan.
Number 3 is Bobby Pollitt.
Okay.
He was my
Pollitt-
12.
Pollitt? Yeah, I'm fond of Bobby, obviously. You know.
Okay,
It's
that makes sense.
My stage name. Number 4, I thought it was Cody Hose. Number 4, I went with Luke Anderco.
It's a good name.
I'm a sucker for alliteration. I love alliteration. So, five is
That's not alliterative.
Luke Anderco. Yes, it is.
no.
It absolutely is not.
Okay, what is alliteration?
Starting with the same letter.
If his name was Luke Landerco,
Oh, well, what is the term that where just a repetitive consonant sound?
I think it's called consonants, like
Okay.
ANCE at the end of the word consonants.
I thought it was letters that weren't vowels that are repetitive.
Letters that aren't vowels are called consonants,
That's what I'm
So,
saying.
but it ends NTS. Consonants
yeah.
ending ANCE. That's the same sounds being made repetitively.
That's and what is called consonant?
Consonants, yeah.
The recurrence of
Okay.
similar sounds, especially consonants in close proximity.
And that is called consonants.
Yes.
Yes.
Alliteration
Cool. Just learned
is the
The start of the letters.
yes,
the
starting
start
with
of the
the
words.
Atlanta Aviators.
Got you. The more you know. Perfect. Appreciate you. So I like Luke Anderco. And then number 5, I went with Cody Hose. And then number 6, Pat Howard. Number 7, Andrew Wheeler. 8, Jake Rossman. 9, Eric Klosick. 10, Zach Diamond. I thought it was, I favor Jake over
Yeah.
Zach.
So
and
tell me
like I
how
said,
the big discrepancy, because Diamond, cool
I
last name.
don't like Zach. I hate Zach as a name.
Interesting.
Like I detest it. Like when I hear Zach, I'm like, we gotta find you a nickname.
Mm-hmm.
How many black Zacharys do you think there are in the world?
Zachary's that's in the 0.001 category.
Like-
Zach's, that ups it a little bit.
Oh,
But
there
I
are
can't-
Zachs who aren't Zachary?
Zacharias?
Yeah, I would think.
Okay, yeah, so there's I guess there are some Zacharias probably.
Yeah, just a horrible name all around. No offense to the Zachs out there. And then number 11 was Joey Pollitt, and then number 12 was Braxton Skinner. Just it gives me Millhouse vibes. You telling on everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, big difference in the Zach and the Jake. Sorry, Zach.
yeah,
Speaking of alliteration, how many NFL teams use alliteration? Because I can think of 2 off the top of my head. But I would have thought that it would be way more.
So I'm trying to think of the 2. Are you counting Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
I'm not.
Okay. The
Buffalo Bills.
yeah.
Yep. Okay, so there are 3.
Oh damn. Okay.
I forgot about the Bills. Sorry, Mackenzie.
I'm going through. I'm not coming up with any. Tennessee Titans.
Tennessee Titans. Boom.
And
You're not counting the 49ers, right?
No.
Stanford. No.
I'm just trying to go through the divisions.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's tough. I'm kind of stumped.
No, nobody say it.
Just off
Nobody,
the cuff.
nobody say it.
2.
I'll sit here all day.
1. 3.
Give
2.
me a region of the United
1.
States.
That would give it away.
Okay. Not Texans, not Cowboys.
Mm-mm.
Now I'm going through a map because I thought I went through the divisions, but I don't have it.
Nope.
2.
Not the Chiefs. You're
Nope.
not counting. I don't know.
3, 2. Seattle Seahawks.
Son of a bitch.
Damn.
See, it's all the way up in
Yeah,
the sea.
because I would have said Pacific Northwest, and then you would have been like, okay.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
Wait, so hold on. That's only 2. What's the third one?
3. The Bills, Titans, Seahawks.
Oh, the Titans. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, when I was trying
Yeah.
to come up with a team to tell him, I was like, fuck, I can't think of one off the top of my head. So I said Atlanta Aviators.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
Less than you think.
Yeah.
Philadelphia Phillies.
Speaking of, we were talking about Ohio a second ago. I saw a very interesting commercial on TV yesterday for the state of Ohio. I didn't know that Ohio was advertising. I didn't know that they had an ad budget.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what their commercials are?
Is it about the North Coast?
No, it's like, come find somebody and get married in Ohio.
Seriously?
Yeah, the commercial was like, there's a lot of fun things to do in Ohio. And then it had this like normal looking guy, and he was like in a nightclub, and he meets this girl. He's like, hey, I just moved to Ohio. And she's like, oh, really? I'm from Ohio. And then they kissed, and then they got married.
Are you
It
for
was
real?
like- it was like, Ohio, come here if you want to get hitched.
I mean,
That's the entire premise of the commercial.
that's a crazy, like, they'll throw in Ohio is for lovers out there every once in a while.
That's Virginia.
I know, but like, the only thing I can like come back with that is like people in Ohio do like to get married, married, like
Yeah.
people.
It's exclusive.
It's fairly
Exclusive.
common.
No, but I mean, like, yeah, like I really have no rebuttal there besides the fact that like I know way more people that are around my age that are getting married now that live in Ohio versus like a New York, Chicago, LA, Austin, like I
Yeah.
guess
Ohio is like, come settle down. Come on.
it's a great place to settle
It's
down.
Ohio.
It's a
Settle down.
great place to raise a family.
Settle down. You might be in a wild city, but really settle down. Let's have kids.
Yeah, that's an odd angle to take. I have nothing to say. I don't
Yeah.
know.
You've had enough wild, weird sex in these other
Yeah.
crazy cities.
Move to a suburb of Cleveland, get married, have a kid.
Move to Ohio. Fall in love. Have a kid. Settle down.
Yeah.
Ohio.
House prices aren't bad. You could buy a house.
There we go. House prices aren't bad. Ohio.
Yeah. House prices aren't bad. You can maybe afford a down payment on a house in a somewhat nice suburb.
And listen, I'm pro marriage. I'm pro settling down. Pro finding love, being who you want to be with, and then being happy and having a family. That's great, but it's an interesting marketing initiative that Ohio's got.
Yeah, no, I can't.
We can do better. Well, maybe not. Maybe let's settle down. It's Ohio.
Yeah, I'll defend Ohio for a lot of the takes that we see. That I don't really get the point of that one.
Ohio.
You're really you're doing bottom of the barrel type shit there. Be like, people get
Some
married
peop-
here.
Some people in Ohio are from Ohio. Some people in Ohio are from other places. Ohio.
Yeah.
That's what the commercial was.
Some are born here, some get married here, but we all don't like it here. That should be the slogan.
We're all here.
Yeah,
Might as well make the
Ohio.
most of it.
it exists.
Yeah.
Ohio.
It's Ohio.
No, it's great.
Let's not get too cute with it. Ohio.
Yeah. Yeah, I have nothing on that one.
You gotta have some sort of pizzazz though. Like
The,
we're not all like Machine Gun Kelly.
dude,
Ohio.
If Ohio had to be a day of the week, what day is it? 'Cause-
Wednesday.
Oh, see, I was just Tuesday came into my
You
brain.
think it's Tuesday?
It's a run the football.
Okay,
It's Tuesday.
You might be right because Ohio. There are other states that are better fit for Wednesday than Ohio.
See,
hump
Wednesday.
day. Hump day.
Wednesday's a nice day.
Yeah.
Wednesday's solid. Wednesday's a nice.
Ohio's a nice
North Carolina.
that's-
Ohio's a nice
Really?
place.
I mean,
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, because I've never really worked a real job, but like, isn't Wednesday the day they call it hump day? It's like, this is the day of like, we don't really have nothing to look forward to, but like,
You see the light at the end of the tunnel.
we're the dead in middle though. Like, I thought Thursday was like Thursday.
Thursday's basically the weekend.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Thursday is like
By
South
the ti-
Carolina.
By the time you get to noon on Thursday, you're like, okay.
I would say like Washington State, South Carolina. Those are Thursdays. I would put Ohio. Ohio's a Wednesday, but on a 3-day weekend where you get that Friday off.
Oh, that's not bad. Right?
It's still a Wednesday,
But there's a little bit
but
more.
you got to go
oomph.
back into work. Yeah, you got to go back into work on Thursday. Probably do a little bit of extra work because you got that long weekend.
Pennsylvania is a Wednesday to me.
Yeah, it could be a Wednesday. Pennsylvania's a Wednesday. What are the Friday states?
Oh,
Florida,
I mean,
California,
Texas, Florida.
California.
No, I'm not talking Saturday states.
Friday. Tell me what you think about this. Sit on this for a minute. Let me talk to you.
pause.
Friday. I've got Friday as my number one. I've got Saturday too.
Best day. Friday's number
Yeah,
one.
I've got Friday as
From
my
the
one.
college football guy. That's wild.
So,
Yeah.
but here's the thing,
Don't,
though.
okay, don't get married on Fridays, anybody.
Here's
Don't ruin.
Here's the
Betsy's-
thing, though. Same reason my favorite day of the year is Christmas Eve. On Christmas, it's over. It's done.
Mhm.
Saturday. By the time you get to Saturday at 3 p.m., you're like, well, now it's Sunday,
You're counting down. Yeah.
and now, yeah. So Friday. I mean, you know, most people on Fridays aren't doing their hardest at work.
Mhm.
You're kind of, you're mingling. You're doing this, that, and the other. You get home Friday, and you've got the vast expanse of the weekend ahead of you. It may as well be 12 days.
Okay, but hear me out. On Saturday, you're not at work. On Saturday, you're currently in a state of not
Number
working.
one thing Saturday's got going for it.
And enjoy,
Absolutely.
I would say it's a pretty big thing.
But Friday afternoon into evening
Friday afternoon
is so blissful and perfect that it vaults it into number one for me.
I think Friday afternoon it clears Saturday afternoon.
First by a mile.
Yeah. So okay, rank your days of the week. You got Friday 1.
Saturday 2,
Mhm.
Sunday 3, Thursday 4, Wednesday 5, Monday 6, Tuesday 7.
Because you get Mondays off sometimes.
No, because Monday you've had 2 days off, you come back in, you're good to go. Tuesday it's like, well, Tuesday's just Monday light, and now Friday may as well be 6 weeks off.
Yeah, you're never getting there.
Yeah, and you've gone to work the day before. You've got to go to work the 3 days after. Tuesday sucks.
Mhm.
Monday is fine-ish.
Monday is not fine-ish. Monday's not good.
It's not good, but
But
it's
I-
better than Tuesday.
I think it you could talk me into that, especially Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. And Monday sometimes not as much work is being done on Tuesday. You're in the weeds.
Tuesday is, Arian, you know this from, in the NFL, Tuesday's like the day off, but like high school and college, Tuesday
Well,
is like,
if you win, and we're talking about the Texans.
I think every team gets Tuesday off.
Oh, do they?
It's like an NFL thing.
Okay.
But like
Tuesday,
high
yeah.
school and college, Tuesday is you're getting the shit kicked out of you on Tuesday.
Yeah. I don't hate that list. I would flip flop Saturday and Friday, but I understand your point.
Yeah, no, I know that's a bit of a hot take, but they're both elite days.
Okay, so Louisiana, what day of the week is that?
I mean,
Thursday?
you and I are going to differ wildly on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I think that's a Tuesday.
I was 100%.
What? A Tuesday? Louisiana is a Tuesday?
Bad state.
Yeah.
Fat Tuesday.
Yeah.
Bad state.
I'm not really a fan of Louisiana like that.
You live like 20 miles from Louisiana.
Never go there.
You pretty much live in Louisiana.
No, Louisiana pretty much lives in Houston.
No, that's not true at all.
It
I'm not going
is,
to take
bro.
this slander about Louisiana. Louisiana is a magical place.
Magic is low. It's a muggle magic.
So you didn't do your. So you were saying Texas and Florida are Saturday states.
I would say Texas, Florida, Saturday states. Yeah. No, Florida's a Friday state. Texas, California, Saturday states.
Whoa.
So what's
With
your
that,
what's your Fridays?
I got Florida. I got Louisiana. This
That's
is
wow.
going to sound. Don't freak out. I'd say North Carolina.
No, North Carolina's
No,
high
I
on
like
my
that
list.
state.
North Carolina's a Friday
Yeah,
state.
North Carolina's a really good state.
Where's-
I like
where's
North
Tennessee?
Carolina.
Tennessee's Thursday state.
I disagree, but it's
Thursday.
better. It's
I'll
better
take
than
Thursday
the
or Friday for
alternative.
Tennessee. Yeah.
It's a Thursday state. Don't
like Tennessee.
act like you're a Friday state when you're not a Friday. There's nothing worse than a state trying to act.
I'll
like
tell
it's
you
a
what,
Friday
everybody moving there seems to think it's a Friday state.
state. Yeah, well they.
Hey, fall in Tennessee may be one of the most beautiful places.
Yeah,
Just saying.
yeah. The
It has
Smoky
nothing
Mountains.
to do with football time in Tennessee. I'm just saying, like, just the, topography. It's amazing.
Yeah, you got nice trees there, good forests, good parks, good mountains, good rivers, all that stuff.
The weather's like right before it changes. Oh, it's beautiful.
Listen, Thursday is not I'm not denigrating the state of Tennessee by labeling it. Thursday is a good day. Tennessee's
Well, you
a
put
good state.
Louisiana as a Friday. I mean,
Yeah,
that's,
Louisiana's
that's
Friday,
wild.
and I stand
Crazy.
by it. I will stand on business.
Wow.
Ohio, Wednesday. Indiana, Tuesday. Michigan, Wednesday. Illinois,
Tuesday.
I'm going to say Wednesday.
You don't really fuck with what they call that. What is it called? Midwest. You don't really fuck the Midwest, huh?
The Midwest is fine. A lot of really nice
I
people.
mean, it doesn't sound like I'm listening to you name your days and states.
I live in the Midwest. I enjoy Chicago.
So I don't really like Texas, but I'm here.
Yeah. New York. I don't think New York is a day of the week. New York's a weekday.
These are all weekdays.
No, some of them.
Oh,
I think people that live in New York probably feel like that, but people that visit it probably don't feel like that. Like I feel like New York is like a Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
But like New York City,
That's what I'm saying.
As
Yeah, no,
opposed
you
to,
gotta
like,
spend a few months.
upstate New York, like
But I don't
Buffalo.
want to. That's
Precisely why
thing
it's not a Friday.
When I said that, well, I don't want to spend any I don't want to spend like a whole bunch of time in Florida. Like I don't really like Miami like that. It's not my vibe. But I understand its appeal. And New York has a certain appeal, but if you live there, the appeal probably goes away. But that's everywhere.
That's true.
If you live in LA, you go to LA, a whole bunch of people in LA, but I fucking hate this place. But everybody that visit there, like I love LA.
Yeah. I would put all of New England as Sunday.
Yeah, I really like that.
Maine Sunday, New Hampshire Sunday, Vermont Sunday, Connecticut Sunday,
Cozy
Rhode Island.
vibes.
Rhode Island probably more like a Monday.
Really?
No disrespect.
I mean, what's there?
I would think New
It's not Rhode
Hampshire.
Island.
I would think New Hampshire's more of a Monday than Rhode Island.
No, New Hampshire's a solid Sunday.
Really?
Solid
I've
Sunday.
never been to either state.
Yeah. I've not been to New Hampshire, but it's a Sunday state. We got some stuff in the news that we should talk about real quick. Big T sent this one through this morning. If there was any doubt that Donald J. Trump is back on Twitter, I think we could put that to bed with his most recent tweet.
He's so back.
Who's negotiating for us in the Middle East? Bombs are dropping all over the place. Sleepy Joe is sleeping on a beach in California, viciously exiled by the Democrats. And Comrade Kamala is doing a campaign bus tour with Tampon Tim, her really bad VP pick. Let's not. Yep. Called him Tampon Tim.
It got a tampon.
That's
Tim, man.
might be his number one all time.
Let's not have World War III because that's where we're heading. We've been on World War
Now
III.
that's
count.
alliteration.
Yeah, it is. World War III, that's where we're heading. Yeah, that's good alliteration there. Yeah, we've been heading towards World War III for a long time. I think like we're 3 years into the start of World War III right now.
You can argue when World War II ended, we were headed to World War III.
Yep, good point. When they called it World War I, then people were like, wait, fuck, we're going to have World War II, aren't we?
There's more of these?
Yeah. Tampon Tim, Comrade Kamala. There's good alliteration.
Tampon Tim funny as hell.
It's good alliteration.
It's my favorite one he's ever done.
Let's not act like he invented it, though. See,
he didn't invent it.
back in the day, Trump used to create the nicknames, and then everybody else would adopt them. So, like Sleepy Joe, that's a pure Trump right there. And then everyone else was like, yeah, Sleepy Joe. Yeah, Crooked Hillary. Good point. Yeah, Little Marco. Yeah, Lion Ted. There are all sorts of good ones. This one he picked up because other people started calling him Tampon Tim. So now he's joined the Tampon Tim bandwagon.
I mean, that makes
He's
it lose
draking it.
10% of
Draking
its
it right
luster, but seeing Tampon Tim in a Trump tweet was the first time in a few weeks I was like, all right, we're going to win.
He's back. You think we're going to...
Yeah, we're back now.
You think Trump's going to win because he's calling him Tampon Tim?
I don't know. I go back and forth.
Yeah, I'd still say it's like 50-50. I actually thought that the Democrats did a bad job with the DNC on their final night because all anybody was talking about was how Beyonce was going to be
The
there.
special guest that didn't exist.
On the news, they were like...
What was this? What did it end up
There-
being?
nothing.
What
There was no special guest. So we got to find out what the fuck
Yeah.
happened here. Because on the news, they're at the DNC. They're saying, we're not supposed to say anything, but there's a big blue curtain over there, and we're pretty sure Beyonce's going to come out. Like, they were saying Beyonce was going to perform, and then Beyonce just didn't show up.
When it got reported it was going to be George W. Bush, too.
If George W. Bush had spoken at the DNC, I feel like that would have been the end of the line for many Democrat voters.
You think?
Yeah. Yes.
You said what?
If George W. Bush, if they brought George W. Bush out at the DNC to introduce Kamala Harris,
That'd be crazy.
I think a lot of Democratic voters would have been like, fuck this party.
Yeah, of course. I mean, people are already there right now. Pretty close to there.
I mean, George W. Bush spent his entire presidency calling all the Democrats pussies for not supporting a war in Iraq. And then the Democratic Party was going to be like, yeah, it's George W. Bush. He's not so bad. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the Democrats have become more centrist than I realized. But like that's a rumor that didn't make any sense to me.
I never heard that rumor. That's
It wasn't even like it was reported by somebody,
Did they?
like a real reporter.
TMZ.
TMZ.
I thought they reported Beyonce.
they reported Beyonce, but a lot of people said they were talking about Beyonce.
Yeah, Beyonce was the prevailing. Well, and somebody had Taylor Swift's plane apparently, or some plane went from Nashville to Chicago, and
Yeah.
people were like, "Oh, it's Taylor." Then it started to get reported that it was Beyonce, but then somebody said it was W.
I need to get my hands on the Photoshop account and start just photoshopping private jets. Just like flood the zone with disinformation.
Give it till about December when it's college football coaching search time. You
Yeah,
can
when somebody
clean
gets
up.
fired. Who? Big T, give me your name for a surprise college coach that will be fired this year.
A surprise.
Give me a surprise.
I mean, Napier's getting fired, but that's not a surprise. Sam Pittman's going to get fired. A surprise. I think. Can I give you a surprise departure? Maybe not a
Yeah.
firing. I think if Clemson has another subpar year and the masses start getting restless, Dabo might look for another opportunity. The problem is he's extremely overpaid. Not overpaid, he's won 2 national titles, but extremely highly paid. But I think he's kind of fed up with the Tyler from Spartanburgs of the
It
world.
seems like he's fed up with everything.
Yeah. He's not taking calls on his show this year.
Yeah, that's disgusting. That's disgusting.
You're just making it a way bigger deal than it would have been.
He got bullied by Tyler from Spartan.
Tyler owns his brain.
Yeah.
Owns
completely.
him.
Completely. That's your daddy.
I'm trying to think of a surprise firing. SEC, I don't really think there are any surprises that could happen. ACC, I mean, there's nobody really. Like, Norvell's not getting fired. Even though they looked rough. Yeah, I don't know. I'll get back to you on that.
Okay. I need a surprise
But
firing.
Billy Napier's getting fired.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Already. We haven't played a single game.
I mean, if you've seen their schedule,
Nope.
you don't know Florida's
Well,
schedule.
I know that they fucked them, but I haven't looked at their schedule.
So give me 1 second.
They're going to be bad.
So Florida plays number 19 Miami to open the season before playing Samford. Then number 20 Texas A&M at Mississippi State, UCF at number 15 Tennessee, Kentucky. Now here's these last 5 games. Listen to this. Number 1 Georgia in Jacksonville, at number 4 Texas, Number 13 LSU at home. Number 6 Ole Miss at home. At number 10 Florida State.
Yeah, the wheels are going to be falling off.
They're not winning a single one of those last 5. Well, Florida State, they're still better than Florida, but I'm excited. We're in ball season.
We are. Can't wait for week 1 to be over. There's going to be some surprises.
To be over.
Give me
Give
me a surprise.
I'm saying like I can't wait to talk about what happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I obviously want
But
to
you're
watch
wishing
that
it
game,
away. We
but
only get
I just
12 of these.
I want to talk about what happened.
I feel that. A surprise what?
I want give me a surprise team that is kind of off the radar that you think is gonna make some noise.
I think Virginia Tech could be very good. I think Georgia Tech has a brutal schedule, but they're a solid football team. I think Brent Key is going to get potentially a bigger job this offseason.
Damn, I hate that.
Tell you what, Big T, can you do something for me? Can you do bracketology for college football?
I mean, I feel like that's kind of already a thing.
It hasn't been, no.
I mean, people are putting out brackets every day.
Give me your bracket.
Well, I'd have to put that together.
Yeah, put together your bracket.
All right, give me 20 minutes.
Okay, you put together your bracket, Big T.
Right now.
Yeah, I'm going to need that bracket. While Big T is putting together his bracket, this podcast, Macrodosing, is sponsored by BetterHelp. Kids are always learning and growing, but as adults, sometimes we lose that curiosity. What's something that you'd like to learn? Gardening, a new language, maybe how to finally beat your best friend in bowling? Therapy can help you reconnect with your sense of wonder because your back-to-school era can come at any age. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Rediscover your curiosity with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/dose today. Get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/dose. Check out BetterHelp today. While Big T's putting together his bracketologist, just a reminder, if you're in D.C., Punk's going to be playing in D.C. on Friday with the Pie Tasters, one of my favorite bands in the world. Grew up going to their shows. They put on a hell of a show. Come check it out at Union Stage, Punk, me, Robbie, Frankie, Roan, Nick, Caroline. We're all going to be there. And then Saturday, we're going to be in Philly. And I think we have some special guests lined up for Philly. And we're going to play a couple Philly-related songs while we're there, too. So come check it out, Punk, this weekend, Friday, Saturday night. Always a fun time. Always a good show. Would love to see your smiling faces out there. Okay. So while Big T's working on his college football bracket, going back to the list of news that he sent over. Big news, all you Christians, Catholics out there. There's a new X-ray study that dates the Shroud of Turin to be 2,000 years old. So that would imply that it lines up with the time of Jesus' death. So it could actually be his burial cloth. What do you think about that?
Come on, Catholicism.
I mean, it's a fairly old study, but I think, to my knowledge, they're not making the claim that they have figured it out. They're making a claim that there's like a new way to do this, and it needs like more confirmation. But shout out to Jesus, I guess.
So there was a study in the 1980s that dated the shroud as being somewhere between 1260 AD and 1390 AD, saying that was a forgery, that they created it back then, and in reality it's not Jesus' burial cloth. But the new X-ray claims that they can trace it back 2,000 years, where you can see like Jesus's body's imprint on it.
Not really. I read the study. They're not really claiming that this is what it is. They're claiming like there's a new way to kind of date this kind of stuff, and it needs like confirmation. Like, so it hasn't been peer reviewed, and so there's not a lot of data to combat it. But they're saying like this is like a new way to date this kind of stuff. And these authors, I did a little bit more digging. These authors have they're kind of tied to the idea. Like one of the authors, for instance, had said that he had it revealed to him in a vision that that the cloud of, or the Shroud of Turin was Jesus's. It was 2,000 years. Like, so
Is that not
they're
scientific?
kind of, huh?
It's not scientific?
No, that's how the scientific method was born.
I had
Came to people in a vision.
a vision. So what you're saying is he started with his conclusion, and then he went back to make the testing fit.
I'm not saying that per se, because like this study is above my pay grade. Like, it has dealing with all kinds of different like radio waves and X-rays, and I don't know shit about that. But like, this isn't the first time they've proposed these. Like, a couple set of authors have proposed this kind of thing, and they even retracted one of the papers that they put out because it got so much it was combated so much by their peers, and so they retracted papers, and it looks like they're doing something similar, and so it does look like they're kind of tied to this idea, but who knows? I don't know.
They said that they can only say that it's 20 centuries old if they can demonstrate that it was kept safely at an average temperature of 22 degrees centigrade and relative humidity of around 55% for the 13 centuries before it emerged.
Yeah, so like,
did they have air conditioning in the 1100s?
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's hard to take it seriously, because it's like then they have like these conditions that it had to be under in order for it to be accurate, and obviously that hasn't been the case. So
I don't really understand how would there be like an imprint of Jesus on this thing to begin with? Like, if you wrapped somebody in something,
Yeah.
like it's not, I don't understand how it would leave
Because
an imprint of the person's face.
I can't believe I'm about to Christ-splain you on this, but Jesus was he was beaten prior to his death.
I understand that.
And so he had blood. And so the blood was on his body. And then when
Okay,
they
so
wrapped the shroud around him,
So it's blood.
there's
You can see the face like clearly.
Also, like, I mean, Jesus rose from the dead 3 days later. Why are we asking how this happened? It's Jesus.
it's Jesus. And so the face, you can see like the mustache and the goatee. He looks kind of like he looks a little bit like Wade Boggs with long hair. But yeah, I guess it's just from all the blood that was on him.
I just don't understand how you get that clear of a something from that, but
They should have had
I
a
would
sketch
agree.
artist. So, Big T, do you think that this is legit or no?
I have no idea. I don't really care.
Okay, doesn't care.
I don't need it.
I'm
so.
gonna rate this 2.5 Pinocchios.
Is that out of 5 or 10?
That's out of 100. I have a very detailed Pinocchio scale.
Wait, but 2.5 Pinocchios would indicate it's only a 2.5% inaccuracy.
No, I'm saying it's got 2 Pinocchios. It's a lie, but it's just not. The lie is so insignificant that you, a Christian, don't even care.
I guess, yeah.
Okay, I'm giving it 2.5 Pinocchios.
But 2.5 out of 100 isn't a lot.
But I have a long way to go.
What's the most Pinocchios you've ever given out?
The biggest lie that I've ever heard? That's a good question. The biggest lie I've ever heard told in my entire life.
That's a heavy
That's
question.
a very heavy question. That's why I'm taking my time answering it.
I actually know my answer.
Biggest lie?
Yeah, I'll tell y'all off air.
I did not have sex with that woman, Ms. Lewinsky.
That's good.
He was getting domed up in the Oval Office. He was putting cigars inside of her.
Yeah, I had never heard that until pretty recently.
Oh, you got to read the
He
Ken
put-
Starr report.
He put cigars inside of her.
Yeah, he fucked her with a
What?
cigar.
That boy freaky.
Yeah, yeah, he is.
Oh no, was it lit?
No,
That's
oh God,
crazy.
no.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's crazy. Okay.
yeah, that would be like some 50 Shades of Grey.
I mean, she freaky too for letting that thing slide.
I don't blame her. I blame Bill. She was like 21 years old. She was an intern. He was a president. There's a power dynamic there.
It could have been. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your biggest?
Is that
lie?
what she says? I don't know enough about her.
Yeah, she
There you
says
go.
like she was starstruck by him. and he like brought her in, talked to her, got to know her, and it was like, we should work together more closely, Monica. And then she was kind of along for the ride. Once Bill, listen, you could be probably the straightest person in the world. Bill Clinton could fuck you. Bill Clinton, he could talk the pants off anybody.
He was Slick Willie.
Slick Willie, that's what they called him.
Yeah, he'd wooed his way into your pants, BFT.
I mean, I'm realistic about it. I am a straight man. If you look at the Kinsey scale, I'm bringing down the hetero part of the weight. But I mean, let's be honest. Bill Clinton, the man can talk the pants off anybody. Let's be honest here. And the biggest knock against the whole Clinton crime family conspiracy is that Monica Lewinsky lived. You don't think Hill Dog would have had her offed? I feel like she would have been number one on that list, right?
Yeah, probably.
Nah, too
Get
obvious.
killed?
Yeah.
No, too obvious. Yeah.
Too obvious? I don't think. I don't know. I think Hillary would have had her killed if that was true. All right, Big T. Do you have your bracketology?
I do.
Big T's college football bracketology 2024.
Preseason, subject to change after week 1.
T season.
Number 1, Georgia has not lost a regular season game since 2020. I think they might lose one this year, but other than that, I think they actually go 12-0. And then I guess they'd have to play Texas, presumably again in the SEC championship game. Hard to beat a team twice, but I have them number 1. Number 2, Oregon. I think they're the best team in the Big Ten.
You got them over Ohio State.
A smidge better than Ohio State.
Why is that?
Quarterback play.
Okay.
Like, Will Howard is fine. He's good. Dylan Gabriel is really good. Number 3, Utah. I'm big on Utah this year, winning the Big 12 in their first season. Number 4, Miami.
You got Miami 4.
Well, keep in mind, the top 4 are the 4 highest-ranked conference champions. It's not necessarily the 4 best teams.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm not really sold on anybody in the ACC, but Cam Ward going to Miami, they have a talented roster around him. I like Miami a little more than, Florida State, obviously, not as good as people thought they were going to be. Clemson, I don't buy. So, number 5, I actually have a 12-0 team, number 5, and that's Notre Dame, because they are ineligible to be in the top 4.
Marcus Freeman, he was on PMT on Monday, and he asked us, what do you guys want to accomplish? Like, we're recruits. He's like, what do you want to accomplish in your time at college? And I was like, I want to win my conference, coach.
It's a good answer.
And he was like, well, wouldn't you rather just win a national championship than your conference? But the way that they have it set up, they're going to be number 5. That's like the Notre Dame spot.
And if you think you've seen a media outcry, wait till Notre Dame goes 12-0 and is outside the top 4. But I think if they get past, they have a tough game at A&M week 1 if they win.
Can y'all explain this to me real quick? What is this Notre Dame can't get?
So the 12-team playoff, the top 4 teams get a bye, but the top 4 are the 4 highest-ranked conference champions. So it might not necessarily be the 4 best teams. So Notre Dame obviously not being in a conference can go 12-0 and they're still ineligible to be in the top 4. Which is so stupid of them now because they're playing half of the ACC anyway.
Yeah.
Just join the ACC. Number 6, Texas.
Okay.
Number 7, Ohio State. I think those are the 2 teams that would probably be like 3-5 in a normal year, but obviously
1 loss.
Yeah.
For each. Okay.
Number 8, I have Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9, Penn State.
Yep, that seems like number 9. It just feels like Penn State.
Penn State is going to be 8-11 as long as James Franklin is there. They will make the playoff every single season, and they will be 8-11.
He's the biggest beneficiary of the new playoff system.
And to be fair, like, they're always a good team. Like, people shit on James Franklin for going 10-2 every year. There are programs that would kill to go 10-2 every season.
Yeah, and are they going to use a whiteout? You have them getting a home playoff game.
No, I have them going to Tennessee.
Oh, because they're 9.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
10, Ole Miss.
Yeah, okay.
11, Kansas State. And number 12, this is maybe my biggest surprise. I've got the University of South Florida representing the group of 5.
Really? Okay.
Big on USF this year, me and Blutman.
Okay.
And
what do you like about
and Ohio State. I really like Alex Golish, their head coach. I think he's going to get a big job sooner than later. Their offense was very, very good last season. If they could just get a modicum of defense, they're in the same boat as Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech seems to have shored up their defense a little bit. If they can play some defense, they've got enough offensive firepower to be very good. It's going to be them and Memphis in the American, and the winner of that game, I think, gets into the playoff.
Okay, so give me your matchups. Round 1 of the playoffs.
So that would be Penn State at Tennessee, Ole Miss at Ohio State, Kansas State at Texas, and USF at Notre Dame.
Those are some great games. I mean, Penn State at Tennessee.
That would be unbelievable.
Yeah, that would be incredible. And then you have Ole Miss at Ohio State.
Yep.
Ohio State, many people think the best team in the country.
Could be.
And Ole Miss probably their best team that they've had in a very long time.
Ole Miss is a very good team. Their schedule is just a cakewalk, though. I mean,
Yeah.
they play 2 like relatively tough games. They could lose both of them and be in the playoff.
College football. Can't wait for it.
It feels like it snuck up on me this year.
No, you've been thinking about it for months.
I'm thinking about it every day. It just seems normally like in the weeks leading up, I'm counting down more. It seems like it came quick this year. Pause.
You guys want to do some voicemails here? All right, so before voicemails, a little housekeeping for next Monday's show. It's going to be Labor Day, so we're not going to be in the office on Monday to record. We will still have a show for you, however, and we're going to take all your labor-related questions, and we're going to see if Jersey Jerry can help us answer labor-related questions. It can be about working, labor, unions, or the female version of Labor Day, giving birth. So we'll have Jerry answer any of your giving birth stories. Tell him how brutal labor is. Just really gross him out with the details. Yeah. He wants to know all about the placenta, the epidurals, dilation, all that good stuff.
What about the Labour Party in the UK?
Labor Party, yeah, we'll take that too.
Okay.
We'll take any labors. All labor, it doesn't matter the definition. All labor-related questions for Jerry. So give us a call, or excuse me, yes, give us a call and leave a message at what number?
347-560-0401.
That's the number. Give us a call. We want to hear from you. Before we get to voicemails, they're brought to you by Helium Mobile. Your phone plan is outdated and too expensive. Meet Helium Mobile, a new carrier powered by people using crypto tech. Helium Mobile's unlimited phone plan is just $20 a month. You get unlimited talk, text, and data. $20 a month. Subscribers of the plan experience coverage from both the nation's largest 5G network and the Helium Network, a new network here in the United States built by people like you and secured by the blockchain. Unlike other traditional telcos, Helium Mobile protects your data by giving you control. It doesn't sell it to third parties for profit. Instead, with Helium Mobile's unlimited phone plan, you can earn crypto tokens called Mobile for anonymously sharing where you use your phone the most. This data helps grow the Helium network, and you're rewarded for your contributions. Imagine that. You can use those crypto rewards to pay for your phone plan. All this is no-brainer. $20 a month for an unlimited phone plan, the ability to earn crypto coverage from a new wireless network built by people all over the country. Ditch the old phone plan. You can get 1 month free to try it out with code MACRO when you go to hellohelium.com/macro. That's hellohelium.com/macro.
Real quick, before you do voicemails, I have it teed off.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to ask you about that.
Also, do you have a Tennessee Minute?
Let's save it for next week.
Yeah, I mean,
we have a lot to talk about.
Hard to know.
We should do a segment on the show, by the way, where we just suck in a bunch of helium and then talk to each other.
I've never been able to do that.
That'd be fun.
Like, I've never figured out how to do it.
What do you mean? You just inhale the helium?
I've tried, and I just talk. It doesn't do anything.
Interesting.
He's also never inhaled anything, so
That's true.
You don't take
but,
damage from helium?
there's a technique.
Yeah.
That wasn't a knock. I was just,
Yeah, y'all will have to. You can do it really well.
Yeah, well, Arian can do it really well. Arian knows the technique for sucking on a balloon knot, and you just bite it a little
Yeah, I
bit.
just used to be a smoker, dog. You ain't gonna do all that.
Well, no, that's what you're talking about, right? With a balloon?
Yeah, but you ain't gonna do all that.
You suck on the balloon. Do you bite the balloon knot before you...
Okay. Yeah, I butter it up. I lick it a little bit. Talk to it nasty.
We'll get you high on helium, Big T.
All right, can I do my teed off, please?
Yeah.
Okay. I went to the Luke Bryan concert at Wrigley Field last night, and Bailey Zimmerman opened. He was awesome, and then Luke Bryan came out, and the first couple songs you could tell he was coughing a lot. He would sing, and then he'd pull the mic away and he'd cough. And so after a few songs, he was like, "Hey, just so y'all know, I have bronchitis. Like, I've been battling bronchitis really bad, and like we could have canceled the show, but I decided to do it. Whatever." And everybody cheers. And then just as the show, I mean, he could not sing. He was coughing the whole time. And then like halfway through, he just brings out a piano and he's like, we're just going to do like covers for an hour. And so he brings out Bailey Zimmerman and the other guys who opened and just like has them sing covers for him. Like they were doing Lionel Richie and like all this other shit. And it was just like a dog shit concert that he should have canceled and given people refunds.
Damn.
And instead we just sat there listening to Lionel Richie.
He tried to battle through it.
Yeah, and it was not. It was the incorrect call.
So, do you think he had the cocoa?
I mean, he said it was bronchitis. I don't know.
Yeah. So he didn't perform when they brought the piano out there. He was like, "I'm just going to sit back and like play guitar."
He was playing piano and like pretending to sing, but then he brought out Tracy Lawrence and Chase Beckham and Bailey Zimmerman and like just had them sing for him, basically.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your loss on that.
Yeah,
Big T.
I'm out on Luke Bryan.
How much
for
were those
the
tickets?
moment? Not cheap.
$100,
More
150,
about there.
$150 to hear not Luke Bryan sing Luke Bryan songs.
But they weren't even doing Luke Bryan songs. He did Luke Bryan songs for 20 minutes, and then did the rest. Yeah.
Was it
whatever.
noticeable when he was singing that he couldn't sing?
Yes.
Yeah, probably got to cancel it then, Luke.
Yeah, it was not good. But then he was like,
You probably take a bath on that though. You probably lose a shitload of money if you have to
well,
cancel day
is
off.
it better for him to lose money or me? Because now I've lost
For him?
money. For
him
as
it's
a neutral
much,
party.
it's much better. If the worst for him that happens because of this concert is Big T gets on macrodosing and complains.
I searched his name on Twitter. People were tweeting him. There were tweets out
What
there.
were they saying?
So there were like a couple people that were like, "What a brave performance that he put on." And everybody else was like, "Dude, shut the fuck up. That was awful."
Oh, so other people were searching for Luke Bryan and then replying to those
I
tweets
saw
about
one
how brave
woman.
he was.
I saw one woman who replied to like 4 different people.
Good for her. Oh, isn't this interesting? Searching for Luke Bryan. They're throttling the search right now. Let's see here. Luke Bryan is every person who had a big presentation but ended up sick as a dog, knew they should cancel but sucked it up and showed up anyway to get the job done. He told the truth, leaned on his headliners, pivoted his playlist, and did not disappoint tonight.
Yeah, no, that's the definition of disappointing. That's not what we wanted to happen.
And then the replies, quote, leaned on his headliners, end quote.
You're the headliner, dude.
Yeah, he should have canceled, took the money. First half of the concert was good for the most part. A lot of dejected fans as we were walking out while singing Lionel Richie. He canceled his last 2 shows before last night. I don't think we're at the same concert. This concert was awful. I've seen him before, and this was just bad. He should have canceled and given us all our money back.
Agreed.
So if he did cancel the nights before and didn't cancel this one, he probably saw like Wrigley Field, and he was like, I can't cancel Wrigley.
So
That's a lot of money.
I think this tour, the only 2 like stadiums where he did Truist Park last week and was doing Wrigley,
Yeah.
and the rest were in like arenas. So I think he wanted to do this show, probably because it was a shit ton of money.
Big T demands a personal refund.
I want a refund.
Give Big T
And
a
I'm
refund.
a Luke Bryan guy, much to the chagrin of some country music people. Like not everybody loves Luke Bryan. I like Luke Bryan.
You've stood up for him.
Yeah,
You're a real fan.
Some real good songs.
Do the right thing, Luke.
Is that the most famous brand? It has to be the biggest brand that is loved by the people and not because of their
Like
product.
brand,
You know what I'm saying?
brand loyalty.
for what they're for, but it's not their product.
So you're
you know
saying
what I mean?
something
Like,
that people like, but that is actually used for something else.
It's off label.
yeah,
I don't know that there's any other product like that, really.
that's what I'm saying. Like it has to be like tops ever.
Maybe
And like so when they're sitting there trying to do brand stuff, you know, they're marketing and branding. Like they have to know their fame is not for tobacco. Like they have to know.
you got to wink a little bit.
Yeah, man, they got to.
What are some other examples of that?
Um,
Off-label uses that are more popular than
The U.S. Treasury has some products that are used for other things,
like such as.
dollar bills.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, hundreds.
I was gonna say like prescription drugs,
Well, yeah.
Well, those are used for their intended purpose, though.
but
People overuse
Yeah.
them or use them without a prescription, but they're doing what they're supposed to do.
that's such a sweet company says the same.
I guess.
Yeah,
Lotion.
oh,
Lotion companies.
that's funny.
Jergens. Yeah, those are the two.
Although I have this, I was like, lotion is like some of the worst shit to do it with, bro.
Give me your top three.
What'd you
Give me
say?
your top three.
I would say baby oil, man.
Okay.
Baby oil's the cream of the crop.
Don't say cream of the crop.
Lotion gets all like gets all caked up on your skin. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want that. You don't want that. Get you some baby oil, fellas out there. If you haven't tried it and you're used to the bottles of lotion, trust me, there's better options.
Whole new world. Can we make a quote card that's just Arian Foster's top product to jack off with?
No.
Baby oil.
Arian's been on these goddamn quote cards enough.
Treat
We
yourself,
haven't had a quote card
fellas.
for you in a
It's a
while.
listener exclusive.
yeah, it's that's exclusive.
Listener exclusive.
It's exclusive.
Exclusive.
But it's true. You should treat yourself better because lotion. There's better things out there.
Okay. All right, voicemail. Let's do it.
Hey, Macrodosing. It's John from Boston. I have a question. What is the coolest sports team ever assembled? Not the best, but the coolest. My answer is the 1998 Vikings. Got Randy Moss, Randall Cunningham, and Chris Carter. And don't forget about Ramos McDonald and Randall McDaniel. Also, check out the flag football guy's highlights. He might not be capping. All right, boss. Thank you.
Well, that last part certainly isn't true, because did you see the highlight that went viral the other day?
Threw a dime.
Yeah, he threw a dime fucking... I don't even know how to describe
Arm
his
slot.
throwing motion.
Arm slot. Patrick Mahomes did that. The media wouldn't shut up about it.
It's a dime, bro. He was dropping dimes.
Guy was wide open.
No, it wasn't.
He was wide open.
Mans was closing on
Yes,
him,
there
bro.
was a
I saw the
guy
same
coming
clip.
but after he caught it. The defender got there.
Yeah, but if he don't put that zip on that shit, it don't get there.
I thought you were kidding when you
Hey,
texted that.
And he be moving. Nah, it was a dime, and he be moving. And he shifty as shit. Listen, I'm not saying obviously he's not an NFL player, obviously, but he's skilled for that arena. He is. I like his confidence.
Okay, so coolest team.
I love his answer. Absolutely love his answer. Randy Moss,
Yeah.
Dante Culpepper, Robert Smith, who ended up being a doctor, I think. John Randall.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That was a squad.
That was a cool team.
squad. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the Pistons team.
That Pistons team was fun. I had
Yeah.
another one in my mind that also featured Rasheed Wallace.
Okay.
The Jailblazers. And they had Rasheed Wallace, Damon Stoudemire, Zach Randolph, Darius Miles, Bonzi Wells.
Damn. To the
They didn't win shit. They weren't that good, but probably just a cool team to hang out with.
Oh, I got one. I think it was like the 2004, maybe. I forget the name. I forget the year. The Golden State Warriors, when they had Matt Barnes, they had Steven Jackson, they had Baron
Yep.
Davis, they had some green. He used to bounce out the gym. I forget his name, number 20,
Was
27.
Danny
He
Green?
won a slam dunk contest. Richard, something.
Jason
I
Richardson.
forget it. Jason Richardson. There you go. Yeah, that was a fun squad to watch. Man, like I would argue that was one of the funner teams to ever watch. Oh shit! And while we had it, another one, the Sacramento Kings, White Chocolate, Chris Webb.
Yeah.
Yeah, man,
That was a
that
good
was a
team.
squad. Paige Stoyakovich. Was it Paige Stoyakovich? Yeah,
Yeah.
Paige Stoyakovich.
Paige, Doug Christie, Mike Bibby,
Mike Bibby. Who's the center?
Vlade.
Vlade Divac. Yeah,
Vlade Divac and
Vlade Divac.
Bobby Jackson, Sixth Man of the Year.
Yeah, yep. But that was a fun ass squad, though.
That was a good team. I
tell you that there's no. I don't think there's a better. We talk about one of the best passers in NBA history. White Chocolate.
Yeah, he did some crazy shit. I would say the New Jersey Nets with Jason Kidd, Kerry
Yeah.
Kittles,
Vince Carter.
Vince Carter on that team.
Yeah, that was fun.
Kenyon Martin, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I don't know why you're emphasizing the old like that.
Kenyon Martin.
Yeah, there you go.
Kenyon Martin. Keith Van Horn.
Kenyon.
All the coolest guys.
Keith Van Horn, bro.
Lob City was
High
fun
Sox.
too.
Lob City was fun as shit. Yeah. I'm trying to think of football equivalent to football. I think Cats from Seattle when we was in the league, they had a nice squad, man. Legion of Doom, Marshawn.
Their coolness factor was brought down significantly by Russell Wilson, though. You know I'm right. As cool, they had like the coolest other guys in the world. They had Marshawn Lynch, they had Bobby Wagner, they had
Richard Sherman.
I'm trying to remember their Michael Bennett, defensive tackle,
Michael Bennett,
big sexy.
Michael Bennett.
Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor,
Mhm.
Earl Thomas. That was a
Mhm.
cool fucking team. And then you had Russell Wilson, so you can't think of it as being. It doesn't get its recognition for being a cool. And Pete Carroll, one of the coolest coaches.
Yeah, probably the coolest coach. Yeah, you ain't lying. I ain't mad at that take.
That's good.
Can I cheat a little bit?
Yeah, cheat.
So the 94 Braves, Chipper Jones got hurt in spring training and didn't play. That would have been his rookie year.
Mm-hmm.
But if you count Chipper, who was on the team, he just didn't play. They had Chipper, Deion Sanders, Maddox Glavin Smoltz, Fred McGriff, Mark Lemke, Terry Pendleton, David Justice.
Yep.
Cool guys on
That's
that
one of
team.
my favorite teams of all time. Mark Wohlers, I believe.
Yep.
Was on that team. You see Jeff Blauser,
Yep, he was there.
Ryan
Ryan Klesko.
Klesko, Rafael Furcal.
He wasn't there yet.
He wasn't there yet.
No.
When did
Rafael Belliard.
yeah. What they called him? Didn't they call him Ronnie Belliard sometimes? Or am I making that up?
I think that's a different player.
Greg Olson.
You're thinking of
Wasn't his name Greg Olson, the catcher?
oh, there was a pitcher named Greg Olson. He appeared in 16 games. I've never heard of this
I
guy.
thought he was a catcher. That was a very cool team. I love that team.
If Chipper had played on that team, that would have been incredible.
Yeah. That's a good question, though. Do you guys have any nominees for coolest team?
Not like that, no.
No.
I'm just thinking of like my Cleveland teams that I liked that had like good vibes and energy.
What are the
Basically, anyone
best
from
vibes?
2016 Cavs.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Like LeBron coming back.
Delly, Richard Jefferson, Kevin Love, Kyrie. I mean, that was just like, and they won.
Yeah.
That was a great team. And then shortly thereafter, the 2016 formerly Indians, also great vibes. A real like family oriented team. But I don't know teams from like back then that were like vibe.
What is a family
Like they just feel like they're all family. Like they all feel like they're all best friends
okay.
outside of
I got
the diamond.
you.
Team you can take home to your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are, Mom, these are the Cleveland I words.
Yeah. But I would say, I mean, in terms of teams that I remember, 2016 Cavs for sure. But I don't know teams from like the 90s like that.
Dunk City was a major miss.
Yeah.
Florida
Yeah.
Gulf Coast University.
What's Dunk City?
Dunk City, that was in the NCAA tournament. What year was that? What year was Dunk City?
12 or 13.
something like that. They
were
just dunked on everybody. They were just throwing lobs, jamming on
Oh, we
people.
doing college teams, bro.
Georgetown.
Oh, the Monmouth.
Georgetown back in the,
the
day.
Monmouth
yeah,
basketball team
AI?
when they were doing the bench celebrations. Does
Yeah,
anyone remember that?
I do remember
Just
that. Yeah,
The like Miami, all early 2000s, all the Miami teams.
Yeah.
North Carolina, like Vince Carter, them days, and even after that too. A lot of them North Carolina teams was cool as shit and didn't win.
yeah.
Y'all tell me this, because this is so in, I think it was 1990, Georgia Tech basketball had Dennis Scott, Kenny,
Kenny Smith.
no, it was Dennis Scott, Bryan Oliver, and Kenny Anderson.
Okay.
And they went to the Final Four. And in Boys in the Hood, Ice Cube is wearing a Georgia Tech hat at one point. Was that Georgia Tech team like cool?
I don't think so.
I don't really remember him like that. It wasn't.
Was that when they had Stephon Marbury?
It had to be.
So he
after
was
that.
way after Boys in the Hood.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't
But
know.
a lot of times in LA, the hats mean something different. So I don't remember him wearing a Georgia Tech.
That movie
hat,
is from 1991. I remember it because I was like, why is he wearing a Georgia Tech hat in California?
in LA, hats mean different things. So like, I don't know. For instance, like The Game, the rapper, he's from a place called Cedar Block, and the Cedar Block they wear Cincinnati Reds hats. Nipsey Hussle was from Rolling 60s, Rolling 60 Crip. They wear Seattle Mariner hats. Let's see. There's a place called Nutty Block. They wear New York Yankee hats. Oh, y'all probably don't know this, huh?
No, I didn't know that.
So like gang territories, they have different hats for every hood and every set that they from. So like when you see rappers from out there wear certain hats, that's the reason why. So like YG, he wears the P, the Philadelphia Phillies hat. That's Pyru. And so like they represent different things for different neighborhoods.
That's wild. I didn't know that. They're like the sports
Yeah.
teams. They should make their own hats with their own logos.
That's more like traditional. Like so before you
Mascots.
could make your own merch.
Yeah.
That wouldn't make sense though.
It's Cuba Gooding Jr. that wears the Georgia Tech hat in Boys in the Hood.
In that song Boys in the Hood, he does say at one point it's all about making that GTA. And so I'm thinking GT Georgia Tech.
That's got to be something different though.
GTA I think is Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
So does
so you're thinking
does
Georgia Tech
hat imply Grand Theft?
Interesting.
That's the best lead we got so far.
I doubt it.
Okay.
Yeah,
We'd make terrible cops.
I doubt that.
That's a good idea for a segment, by the way, Big T. Write that down. Y'all tell me this. where Big T's got something on the top of his head. Y'all tell me this.
Okay.
Put a pin in that one. We'll get back to it. All right. Let's see. We want to do another voicemail? Or do we have any other nominees for cool teams? The Georgetown teams in basketball were awesome.
Oh, so dope. I don't know if you ever heard this
Fab
story.
Five.
What was his Oh, yeah, that might be the coolest team of all time. They moved culture like I don't think any other. Matter of fact, I would argue they moved culture more than any other team ever.
Probably.
Yeah. What was Georgetown coach's name?
John Thompson. Big John Thompson.
John Thompson, bro. Rest in peace. John Thompson. There's a story in his book where he went, and I think I don't know who it was. I think it was Alonzo Mourning. Alonzo Mourning was getting quartered by like a local dope dealer, and like so he started kind of like hanging out with a local dope dealer, and so he went straight to the dude and his place, a business, and was like, "You leave my boys alone. Like I respect your business, I understand like what you got going on, but it's like y'all, you leave them alone." And it was like a mutual respect. So like he went into a dope spot.
Yeah.
And told him like, "Yo, leave my mans alone."
Yeah,
that's one of the coolest shits I've ever heard, dog.
he basically ran that city when he was in charge.
Yeah, man, he would go.
Yeah. Whole time towel guy too. Always had towel over his shoulder. Always.
Yeah.
All right. Voicemail.
Hey, Macrodosing Pod, it's Carter from Seattle. I got a question that mostly pertains to Arian, but PFT might know something too, I guess. But I was wondering how athletes get pictures of themselves during a game, like sent to them so quickly and stuff after, because I know there's different, like, stations and stuff, photographers and then team photographers. Do players have to pay for any of them? Do they just get sent to them? Do they got to request them? How does all that work for so many different cameramen, I guess? Thanks, guys, and love the podcast.
It's an interesting
Yeah,
question.
so this was like right when I was getting out of the league, this started to be like a thing. So like when I was first in the league, it was never a thing. But like it started when social media started to be more presence for athletes and like, your brand and stuff. They have team photographers, and after the game, after a practice or after training camp, they'll like photo dump a whole bunch of stuff, or you could request like, "Yo, let me get this, that, and the other," and they'll just feed you a whole bunch of pictures, which is probably good for everybody involved.
Were there any people on the team that were known for being like the fastest to put their sweet looking pictures up online?
You always had those dudes. Like I said, I was in the transition. So like I was like when I first got in the league, it wasn't about that, right? But like now, that's all it's about. And I got some funny stories about shit like that though. Like dudes be full of themselves, man. I will say that. Like
Change the names.
it's just like I know cats like who like as soon as the game's done, like they reading articles about themselves or they watching highlights or like there's a difference between watching film and watching highlights.
Right.
There's a difference. Because you have the film, we have iPads and the film goes directly on there. So watching film is one thing, but like watching highlights, checking stats, shit like that shit happened a lot.
Would it be somebody that didn't get a lot of highlights that would, after the game, like rush if they did get a highlight? Because I could see that happening. If you didn't play much, you call it like a 50-yard touchdown pass, I'd probably want to go watch that highlight right away.
I mean, I guess we're just different. I think if you and maybe that might have been it, right? Because I had a lot of highlights, so it wasn't after the game. I didn't want to see my highlights, right? I wanted to relax, and then I definitely wanted to watch the film. So like on the plane ride back, or as soon as you get back to your house, if it's a home game, like I would pull up the film and I would watch the film if I know I fucked up on a play or something. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to rewatch what happened because I cared about my craft. But there's a difference between like reading your own ink and watching film. There's a lot of that going on. And I think now I was talking to one of my homeboys when I was at my man's funeral. I saw a lot of guys met up with a dude who's still in the league, and he was like, "Man, it's just different now, bro." He's like, the cats nowadays. Did I already say this story?
Yeah, I think
I
so.
think I said
But
this,
say it again.
Well, he was just saying like how there's a huge difference in how we came into the league, and then now like the younger cats, it's not necessarily like when we was coming up, it was like the older cats had something to offer, so like we were like under their tutelage, and nowadays it's like it's really because of I think it has a lot to do with like NIL. I think it has a lot to do with the way they're coached down there. And then now when they get to the league, they're like, "Man, get out of here, old head." He's like, that's the vibe I get. He's like, there's some cats who will, take mentorship, but he said, but it's all about Instagram. It's all about like that kind of, vibe. Which yeah, that's the youth, man. That it is what it is. The changing of the guard.
What position group do you think would be most likely to immediately look at receivers?
Receivers.
Yeah,
receivers. Yeah, receivers.
that took you about a half second.
Yeah, receivers. I was lucky enough to play with one of the most humble dudes of all time, though, like Andre Johnson. So he wasn't like that, though. He was like he's exactly who you think he is. Like if you ever watched the interview with him, that is Andre.
Yeah, I could see. There's a couple players on the Eagles that I could see being like the first guys off the field, like immediately check the team pictures. We should do a pool this year to see like which players get their pictures up on Instagram first.
That could be fun.
I think that could be fun, yeah. All right, stand by. Stay tuned for more.
Who was it? Chauncey Billups. Chauncey Billups said that. He said he was coaching a team. I think he was part of the Trailblazers. And he said he was coaching and some dude had like a nasty dunk. He said, but they was down by like 20 or 30. And he said, and he said they go in at halftime and he posts the dunk. Like at halftime. And he said, what the fuck are you doing, dog? That's just crazy, man. That's wild. It's new age, man.
What NBA player do you think would be most likely to do that?
Right now?
Karl Anthony Towns.
I thought he cool, man.
I was gonna say Ja Morant.
Yeah,
he's addicted to posting.
He won't
even
stop
when
posting.
he should not be posting.
Yeah. Look at all these pictures I posted without guns in them. How come no one ever talks about those? 99.3% of my Instagram posts do not have me holding a gun in them. That's the highest ratio in the league.
They don't want to talk about those.
Yeah. We just want to bring people down.
They shout your failures and whisper your accomplishments.
That's a fact. Okay, good episode. We will see you guys on Thursday for a full-length macrodosing. And remember, if you got labor-related questions, working, labor party, or being in labor as a female, please send them to us at what's that number, Mad Dog?
347-560-0401.
Send them our way, and Jerry will answer your labor-related questions and inquiries. All right. Love you guys.